In this video, we find out how this one website with one page and one keyword is missing out on $1.7 million of enterprise value. Let's dive straight in. Okay, so the way that we have found this site is I found the keyword squat rack. Now this is an absolutely fantastic one. Reason being is that the keyword difficulty is 7, so it's super low. And the amount of search volume is 38,000. So pretty damn high. And this is in the States. Yeah, a considerable number of clicks still. 27% of these clicks are organic. So this is still very, very high, even though this is super low. So a fantastic keyword to go after on here. Scrolling down on here, this is inside of Ahrefs. We can basically, the first thing I start to look at is the power of the top site and the number of referring domains that they have. So we can see on here Titan.fitness, DR of 58, which is pretty decent. Next one is DR 56, and they have like quite a few more referring domains than obviously these guys have absolutely none. So that's an interesting one. We're like, okay, why do they have, why are they first? Maybe they have a bunch of content on there, on this particular page. We'll dive in on that in a minute. Obviously we've got Amazon standard, that's going to be up there. We've got this one, again, DR 58 with the number of referring domains. 42, 76, obviously Rogue Fitness, huge brand. So we can basically see up here, right? So pretty much Google is placing sites up here that have a considerable amount of power. That is one of the first things that we're looking at on here. DR 58, 56, 58, right? Obviously ignoring Amazon on here. So what we're looking at on here is to be up in the top 3, you do need a considerable amount of power being the first thing. And how do we get power? That is through link building, whether that be guest posts or that would be digital PR campaigns or anything like that, right? So let's just check out this one real quick because I'm curious to see why this doesn't have any referring domains, but it's up at the top. So let's load up their site, and lo and behold, exactly what I said, they have a lot of content on the page. Now this is a huge thing that so many sites do not do, and we'll cover this in a minute. So we can see on here racks, okay, so that is their main title on here. This is probably going to be in a H1. Let's double check. There you go, H1. And then we have power racks, cages, squat rack stands, and more. So these are all variations of this main keyword that they're going to be ranking this page for. I would have thought this is going to be a H2. Bam, H2, there we go, cool. So whoever is doing SEO on this site knows exactly what they're doing. Cool. And then we can see on here again, power racks, cages, and squat racks, fully customizable, bolt together. So these are all keywords that people are going to be searching. I want a bolt together squat rack at home. I want it to be delivered to my door. There's a Titan rack waiting to become the cornerstone of your home gym or garage gym. So again, longer tail search terms that people are going to be searching. Garage gym, power rack for garage gym as an example, right? And this page is going to come up. Cool. So we have a considerable number of products on here as one of the first things that you see. And when we scroll down here, we can see all of this lovely content, right? There's a whole bunch of different content on here. Again, it's reiterating the main thing. It's talking about these different points, at home, it's covering off all kinds of different keywords on here. Now, the level up to this, which they are not doing by the looks of things, if I can hover over any of these, is they're not internally linking to other pages. This is the perfect place to do it, especially as they have things like pull-up bars, rack accessories, dip bars. I saw dumbbell somewhere. This is like the perfect place to then link out to other pages, especially if they are doing some heavy link building to this page. That's then going to send the link juice through. Cool. So we can see why they are number 1 effectively. They have a combination of 2 things. They have a pretty high DR, and they have a lot of content on the page. They have a lot of content, a lot of products, 124 products, so it's pretty sizable. And that is pretty damn good. Now we can see the number 2 site on here. They have considerably more referring domains and a higher URL rank, okay? So it's like, okay, why are they not higher? Potentially one thing is that they have slightly lower DR. Seemingly they have a lot more content on the page. They might have less pages overall, but yeah, let's have a quick look and see. Okay, cool. So there's an entire page pop-up that comes up. Let's have a quick look. Right, so we just have the title of squat racks. We have no other content up at the top.
And then we do have content down here, but this is a shitload of content. Jesus. That is a huge amount of content. Okay. And they are internally linking, which is good. That's great. Internally linking to other pages, other products. Cool. They have a great FAQ section, clearly know what they're doing in terms of that. But yeah, they could have a different title. Yeah, and all of that. So potentially that's why they're second on here. That is a massive amount of content to have on a collection page. But yeah, you can see why that's working. Cool. Okay. And if we head back over to here, now I was scrolling down on here to try and find a particular site to pick on for this video. And we're going to go with this one. So giantlifting.com. Now they could be making a considerable more amount of cash coming from SEO, right? We'll work that out later in terms of how much that actually is. But let's look down here. So they're currently ranked 18th, and let's have a look why. So if we look at the DR of all of these sites, most of them are above 40, and then obviously we're coming up to like mid to high 50s up here. So when we look at theirs is DR 26. The next one is DR 33. This is a product page, so it shouldn't technically be ranking on here. We then have another one, DR 2024. So you can see that the lower powered websites are on page 2, right? Ranked 18th. They do have a couple of referring domains going to their page, which is good. Obviously, we don't know what that power is. We're not going to dive in on that right now. But let's just have a quick look at their page. Cool. Okay, wow. Please select a delivery method to continue browsing the site. Okay, well, that is already confusing. Whoa. Unlock a discount. Okay, I would immediately click off of this website. Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's some interesting spelling here. How do I cancel off this? Okay, yeah, okay, I just want free shipping. Why would you have that coming up? That is bizarre. Okay, cool. Right, so let's jump straight into this. So we have the collection page of power racks. Okay, so this is potentially not the best collection. If they have one that is squat racks, that is what I would have trying to rank for this particular keyword. Now they may not have that, which is why they just have power racks on its own. Okay, and they just have 3 products. So this is a huge thing that seems to come up with e-commerce SEO a lot. If you don't have more than 5 products in a collection, it does not rank very well at all, seemingly, interestingly, right? So that alone on here, I would be adding a lot more products in, or we'd then go up one step further, where you're then combining more products in under squat rack or whatever the keyword might be. So we can see on here, they have 3 different products. Let's just double check if this is a H1, just standard stuff. It's a H1 and a H2. How does that work? Okay, so they have a class of H2. Interesting. There's no content underneath here. They do have content on here. Let's just double check this because this also looks like a H1. That is a H2. Cool. Power racks again. So that is not great practice to just repeat the same keyword on a H1 and a H2. We have a bunch of different content down here. It does say gym enthusiast. It does say a few different keywords. Okay. All right. A little bit of content. Yeah. But they could be doing a much better job. There could be a lot more content down here that kind of covers off other different keywords. Any home gym setup. It's okay. Obviously, having more products is definitely going to help, and having all of those pop-ups not popping up would also be ideal. Changing this to squat racks, or actually having a squat rack page, like we can see on here, look, racks. So they do have a bunch more products. Obviously, these are not necessarily squat racks, and this is highly unoptimized page. Yeah, so that is definitely number 1 on here. Optimizing this page a lot more for the actual keyword of what we're looking at. Okay, so they have racks and benches. Interesting. Let's just have a quick look, see if they have, okay. Racks, power racks, half racks, wall racks. Okay, these link directly to products. Okay, there's quite a lot of confusion here. Cool. So they can definitely add a lot more content to this page. Obviously, when you're comparing against the top sites, they have considerably more content. Obviously, the H1 on here and in terms of their H2 could be way more optimized. It just says the same word twice over. There's no variation. Like the number one site that we saw, they had lots of different variations of the main keyword. People searching for this product search different things. They don't necessarily all search power racks. Not everybody knows what a power rack is. They might search squat rack. They might search barbell rack, whatever it might be. I don't know. So that is number one. Okay, when we look at the power of their site overall, DR26 is considerably less than the top sites. Now, them trying to rank for this particular keyword, they're going to need a lot more power to actually be in the runnings of this. So that would be a case of a bucket load more link building. And that is exactly what we would focus on for this particular website. Like we can see the word count is considerably down in comparison to the top 3 or so sites up here. Theirs is relatively low, but they do have a higher DR than the site that we're looking at. And they do have other referring domains. And their page is much more optimized. This is another side of things, right? They have a collection page that specifically says squat racks. Okay, and their SEO title, if this is actually their SEO title, is also not optimized in that sense. It just says squat racks on its own. But if we go up to the top site on here and look at their SEO title, gym racks and cages, power racks, squat stands, and more. So it's a complete variation of all of these different keywords together that mean the same thing. Okay, and this is the high level, broader term that is just racks on its own. Okay, so we can see on here, again, these guys are optimized for squat racks, by squat racks for home and commercial gym use. So it's hitting up multiple keywords there. So if someone was searching commercial squat racks, this page is going to appear. If someone's searching home squat racks, this page is going to appear, right? So different variations, again, like you can see on here, different variations feeding into one particular page. When we look down here, power workout racks for gym or home. Right, so we haven't seen this keyword at all. Power workout racks. I've not seen that keyword, and it's not necessarily something you would search. Power racks, yes, is the keyword that you'd search, or it would be squat rack, which is what we're trying to optimize for here. So the task here would be to either create a separate page and just target squat rack specifically, and start link building to this page with anchor text that is around squat racks or similar terminology to then boost this page up as much as possible. And then obviously boosting their overall DR, the overall domain authority, the power of the website through link building direct to the homepage and other pages, and running digital PR campaigns that are then sending a huge amount of power and link juice to the website overall. That is going to lift the entire website up overall, and they should then start to soar through the search engine results page on this particular keyword, because it is not a difficult keyword to rank for. Like keyword difficulty of 7 with this amount of search volume is huge. That's a hell of a lot of traffic. Like we can see on here, the number one website has 6,284 amount like traffic from this set of keywords going directly to it. So next what we'll do is we'll work out what the potential value is for this website ranking first on Google, and then we'll work out how much the other website is missing out on. Okay, so next what we have on here is our trusty ROI calculator for e-commerce, right? So in here, in the monthly visitors, we are going to grab the traffic from the number one site up here, which is 6,284. Paste this one into here. Now we have the conversion rate. Now, as of January 2024, across all e-commerce sites, the average is around 3.32. Now, obviously, this is a higher priced product. I doubt it's going to be that high. So let's say it's going to be around 1.7, right? If they really had their shit together. Okay, let's have a look at the average order value of the products real quick. So obviously the main keyword that we're searching for here is squat rack. So let's have a look. This is like 700, 750, 600. What are we looking at here? Power rack. So it's about 700. A little bit higher. Okay, let's say it's on average 700. Obviously, these are a little bit less. That's an accessory. That's a half rack. That's 700. Let's say it's 700 on average. Obviously, you do have more expensive ones here. And probably people buy plates, and then they also buy bars, barbells, and all kinds of other stuff all at the same time, because it's probably free shipping, as it says on here, which is great. So let's say $700 on average. We have this amount of traffic coming to the page, a conversion rate of 1.7. Now, obviously, with organic search, it is going to be higher as well than things like Meta, because we're not trying to stop someone from scrolling where they may or may not need a squat rack. When someone is searching in Google directly for a specific product, they are looking for that exact product. So the conversion rate naturally is going to be a hell of a lot higher. So let's be a bit kinder here and say 2% from organic, okay, specifically. If you want to check this in your own store, go into Google Analytics, look at the landing pages, and then filter on organic search traffic, and you'd be surprised at the much higher level of conversion rate than what comes from other paid sources. Okay, so then we have around 126 orders per month coming in from this. We know that they have an average order value around 700. Obviously, that does not include other products. So projected monthly revenue is around nearly $88,000 per month, right? Now, if we had a lifetime, if we added in another thing into the mix on here, the average lifetime value of a customer, as I said, they may buy the squat rack first, and then they come back and buy some plates and some barbells, or they need to replace something, or whatever the case may be. So let's say the average order value of the average customer is $850 instead, right? So we're looking at a monthly lifetime generated value from organic search of just over 100K revenue, right? So quite a considerable amount just from this one keyword. Just by being first up here, this is the potential amount that they could be making based off of actual numbers with things. So these guys being down here, this is costing them nearly 100 grand a month by being down here. So that is exactly what we would do, is drive them up as high as possible and then hold that position for as long as possible. Ultimately, the people who are doing the SEO on this site and who have built the site obviously know what they're doing, which is proven on here. So that is effectively what we'd be looking to do. That is the amount that they're missing out on. Let's calculate the enterprise value real quick from that as well. Okay, so in this calculation in terms of enterprise value, what we're looking at on here is if they were at a 45% profit margin. Now, this is relatively low. Normally, companies would be at a profit margin that's a little bit higher than this, but we're taking into account some fixed costs. So we've been going a bit easy on them here. 45% of this equals, of the lifetime value generated by the that sale, equals 48 grand per month, right? Now, when we look at the yearly profit, so we times this by 12, we're then looking at nearly $600,000 in profit from that, okay? And then when we work out the enterprise value from this single keyword with this single page, we're then looking at 1.7 mil at a 3x multiple. So this is based off of profit, not revenue. So they're missing out on 1.7 mil of enterprise value by not ranking first for this particular keyword of squat racks in America, which is relatively easy to rank for in a relatively short period of time. So that really just shows the power of SEO. That really shows how much value there is in just single keywords like this, especially when you have a decent average order value and your conversion rate is relatively high. So hope that helps in this video, giving a little bit more context, understanding what goes into actually ranking a website and a particular page for a certain keyword. And now you can see the value associated with certain keywords and the true enterprise value, because it's not just about how much we're making right now, it's how much can we sell that asset for in the future, which is the key. So yeah, when you combine this with a bunch of other products that are on the website as well, because we're only looking at one single page here for squat racks, one single collection. So when you start to then look at all the other products and collections on the site, you can then really start to build up a very, very large website with a very, very big asset that is absolutely sellable. So hope this helps. If you found this helpful or useful, drop a like and a comment below, and we'll start to do other ones as well. All good fun.
So if you own a D2C store and you're currently doing over $1 million revenue right now per year, and SEO is something that you're interested in and you think that it might be beneficial to your business and your brand, click the link in the bio to schedule a discovery call with myself, and we'll run through your business and yourself and understand if SEO is going to be a viable and profitable sales channel for you. I look forward to seeing you in the call.